I played World of Final Fantasy when it was first released on the Vita. In my review, I talked about how much I enjoyed the game. The music, the story, and seeing all those classic Final Fantasy characters again were highlights for me. When I first started playing, I wasn't a fan of two of the characters, particularly the White Fox Tama that said the word "the" every other word.
Next, why don't you have a go at stacking that choco chick on your head? Here, watch, I'll just show you.
But I got used to them and eventually started laughing out loud at all the cheesy jokes. Jumping into the Switch version, I was looking forward to playing it again and to seeing all the new content. I really enjoyed playing through World of Final Fantasy again, and I enjoyed the story more this time than I did the first time, since I knew what was to come and some of the cryptic conversations made more sense the second time round. But most of the additional content is endgame and super tough. It requires a lot of grinding to actually finish. You play as twins Lan and Rain as they go on an adventure to reclaim their lost memories and find their family. They discover they have the ability to tame monsters in their world, named Mirages, and have them join Lan and Rain on their adventure. The gameplay is similar to old school Final Fantasies. You control the pair as they navigate a map, and every minute or so you'll face a random encounter battle. The battle system is turn-based, although you can set it to be active if you prefer. The battle options include the standard attack, magic, defend, but the game has more layers than most other RPGs due to its stack mechanic. When you capture Mirages, you can form a stack with Lan and Rain in the middle or at the bottom. The magic and abilities available to you depend on the abilities unlocked for each Mirage. Encounters with different types of enemies require different abilities. While you can swap up your stack to access different magics, I found it easier to stick with a combination that covered all the main elements. This had its disadvantages in some battles if I didn't have quite the right skills, but I preferred to stick with a few Mirages so I could level them up and unlock all their abilities. When faced with new enemies, you can try to capture them or kill them. Capturing isn't always straightforward, as you'll need to meet certain conditions, like poison the enemy or deal a lot of damage in one hit, to unlock the potential of capturing them, and even then you may still fail to capture them. Trying to stay alive, trigger the right conditions, and capture the Mirage can be tough to balance.
No trouble at all.
Good job.
Throughout the game, you encounter characters from previous Final Fantasy games, and you can also play short quests called intervention quests, which add more story detail to the characters and tell you what the characters are doing after they met Lan and Rain. I really enjoyed the scenes with the Final Fantasy characters, especially the scenes with Gilgamesh.
Hey, don't look at me.
Then tell me what you know.
Huh? Nobody asks me that.
Which of them will out the stupid the other? I can't but look away.
I really like the style of the game and the cute and colourful designs of the characters and monsters. It does seem like a children's game, but the story gets pretty dark towards the end, and it can be difficult too. The music included remixes of iconic Final Fantasy tunes, and some new ones. The music was a highlight for me, and I found myself humming many of the tunes for days after playing. World of Final Fantasy is massive. Even outside the main quests, there are many side quests to complete, and an arena to battle all the different Mirages you've encountered through the game. The intervention quests were some of the best parts of the game for me, with lots of references to the old Final Fantasy games, and some funny moments with characters from the different games meeting each other and teaming up. The new content in World of Final Fantasy Maxima included a new intervention quest with Zack from Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, a new dungeon and more bosses. You could also now play as Final Fantasy heroes that you meet in the game after you unlock them. They have different stats and abilities to Lan and Rain. It's more like a skin change and you're actually playing as them. It was a nice touch, but it didn't make a huge difference to the game, as the Mirages I had were more important than the character I played as. I didn't feel like the new content was worth buying the game over again for. I gave up on trying to finish all of it because of the amount of grinding required. I still really enjoyed playing World of Final Fantasy again, but it was because it's a great game for a Final Fantasy fan such as myself, not because of the new content. If you haven't played it before and you're a fan of Final Fantasy games, then this is a great game. Hopefully you'll enjoy the conversations with Tama once you get used to the way she talks. For people that played World of Final Fantasy before, it still holds up on a second playthrough. But if you're playing it for the new content, then be aware that you'll need a lot of dedication to grind enough to beat all the bosses. So guys, are you planning to pick up World of Final Fantasy Maxima? And if you played it before, what did you think of it? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.
What's wrong with you, but as long as you're happy.
Did Lon just find someone he can talk the down to? Never thought I'd see the day.